Your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS with Men at Work at 11:25. 74 degrees with sun outside of our Davis & Davis studios on this Monday morning. And on the way next, we have Adam Quatrini from the Quatrini Law Group here on your local station, WMBS, on the first Monday of the month. And that's on the way in just a bit on WMBS.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
Wow, your dog looks beautiful.
We went to Mutt's on Market Street, the new dog grooming salon in downtown Brownsville. Samantha, the owner, has over 10 years dog grooming experience. They work with any dog, any breed, any size.
Didn't it cost a fortune?
No, the prices are great. They offer a full line of grooming and other services.
With warm weather on the way, now's the time to schedule an appointment for your furry friend's spring grooming. Mutt's on Market Street, downtown Brownsville, next to Hope Park. For more information, visit Mutt's on Market Street on Facebook. Mutt's on Market Street will be open during the Market Street repairs.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or,
Hi, come on in. How are you feeling?
when you see doctors Paul Hartley and Mary Beth Riley, plus nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckart, and Stacy Morris, you get one-on-one personal professional health care serving the area for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a primary care doctor, call Doctors Hartley and Riley at 724-437-1109 or online at ppcp.org. Or
Serving number 3,944.
Are you interested in earning your degree online or finishing your degree? Take your career to the next level at Salem University. Salem University offers more than 50 online degrees and certificate programs. Learn how you can advance your career with degrees in nursing, business, education, criminal justice, and IT. Salem has 4-week classes starting once a month. Contact Salem University by dialing 844-462-9128, option 1, or visit salemu.edu to see if you are eligible for our partnerships offering tuition scholarships.
Here's a business looking for a customer.
Hi there.
Here's a customer looking for a business.
Hi.
And that's where the Better Business Bureau comes in. The BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. That's why 2023 IABBB research found 80% of people choose BBB accredited businesses over non-accredited ones with the same A+ letter rating. Live happily, better after. Always look for the sign of a better business because it's looking out for you. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS, 75 degrees at 11:28 on this Monday morning. And now it's time for the Quatrini Law Group with offices in Uniontown and Somerset, as well as Greensburg. They specialize in personal injury, workers' compensation, Social Security, disability, employment law, long-term disability, and veterans benefits. Phone 888-534-6016. Now your host for the show today, it's Adam Quatrini from the Quatrini Law Group. And Adam, good to meet you. And how you doing today? Good morning.
Thanks so much for having me. You know, I don't get to do this very often, but I'm very excited to be here and talk about our law group and who we are and what we do. But I want to also start out by thanking the radio station for having us. You know, local radio stations are something that don't really exist anymore. Right. And for being in operation for 90 years, here's to another 90 years of serving your local community with very important information. And we're really glad to be a part of it.
Well, thanks, Adam. That's awesome. We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And I also want to thank attorney Joe Fetzko and his lovely wife,
Joe
Regina.
Fetzko, absolutely. Great guy.
You know, his voice has been on your radio show for many years, and he has given us the opportunity and the privilege to take on that role of trust and being the go-to law firm that he also trusts to make sure you go the extra distance for his for your clients, and I'm happy and excited to talk about all the services that we offer.
That's awesome. Yeah, so go right ahead and whatever you want to get into today, the floor is yours, Adam. So,
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if my parents were here, they would say I could talk for hours, but I'll try and sum it up as best as I can. But hello to your audience, and if you have any questions, please call in. So, again, my name's Adam Quatrini. I am son of Vince Quatrini Jr. My father started the firm 40 years ago, and I'm lucky enough to work with him and my brother Michael and 13 other attorneys who have been with our firm for a very long time. That's one of the things that I think defines our firm is the amount of attorneys that we have and the longevity that they've been there. We do really good work. We care a lot. And we really focus on the personal touch of meeting our clients and listening to their stories because they have a story to tell. They are upside down because of an injury or a sickness, some type of illness that they did not expect. And we understand that, we respect that, and we want to do our job to make sure they get the benefits that they deserve. So just to run down a little bit further on what we do, workers' comp, you fall at work, you get hurt in an accident at work, you're able to get paid by the insurance company for your time off. Now, here's what I will tell you. The insurance company is going to call you. They're going to try and get you back to work. They're going to dissuade you from speaking to an attorney. And here's what I tell all clients that come to see me. Call me first, okay? I'm not going to charge you a fee. It's all contingent on getting you benefits. So what is the downside in speaking to an attorney that will give you free advice and work in the background to make sure the insurance company is doing everything correctly and making sure that you get your benefits and not rushing you back to work, because that's exactly what they're going to do. And that's their job, right? But a lot of times you need time to recover. You need time to get back on your feet. You need time to do physical therapy. And if you go back to work too early, you're going to get hurt again. The reverse is the insurance company is going to deny your case. You're not going to get the care that you need to get back to work. So oftentimes I get a call saying it's been 6 months. I haven't seen a specialist. I haven't had an MRI, not even an X-ray. And by that time, unfortunately, you are behind the 8 ball. Your body is starting to heal incorrectly. And so by the time you call me and get to a doctor who's going to take care of you, we're kind of behind the 8 ball again. Oh, and by the way, you're still not getting your paycheck. So I always tell people, call us first to make sure they are doing things right. They don't even have to know that we are talking. And you have a free resource to make sure we do everything right the first time so that we don't have to go back and clean it up. A little caveat to that too, for individuals who might be out there listening, you have to file a claim for benefits, medical or lost wages, within 3 years of the original date. You also have to file a review petition if you believe that your description of injury is incorrect. What do I mean by that? Almost every time I see a case come in, the description of injury that the insurance company has designated to the injured worker is a strain, a back strain, a shoulder strain, a knee strain, when in reality, you tore your rotator cuff, you tore your ACL, you herniated a disc in your neck or back. if you do not inform the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that you believe your injury is more severe than it is listed on what is a notice of compensation payable or similar document, you will be barred from asking the courts to pay for future treatment for your neck for that torn rotator cuff. So it stays a strain, and then you have to use your personal insurance, and then they are not allowing you to receive your lost wages because of that designation. And it all goes to your personal insurance. You have out-of-pocket costs, et cetera, et cetera. So these are all very nuanced things that aren't obvious on the surface. And again, that is why at any stage, please call us to make sure that the insurance company has designated your injury correctly and that you're not missing a statute of limitations, signing something, or saying something that's going to harm your case in the future. We also do personal injury, of course. That's something where you get hit by a car or you slip and fall. We will show up to the hospital. We will make sure we meet with your family. We will meet in person. All of these things are very important. After COVID, we kind of got away from in-person meeting. But as everyone listening here knows, you need to meet in person to fully gauge the individual that is going to represent you. A major life event has happened, and you want to be able to make sure you trust that person. Yes, we will always take calls, and we will take same-day calls, but we will make house visits so that you can see our face, you can know that you can trust us, and that we're going to show up for you day in and day out to make sure you get the benefits, the respect, and the justice that you deserve. End of story. That is who Quatrini Law Group is, and that is what our principles have been since Vince founded the firm 40 years ago, and that's why we've been in business this long. And he has taught my brother and I and all the other attorneys in our office that you do right by others and you will be successful. That's a great responsibility. Of course, it's stressful sometimes. And it's stressful because we know how difficult life gets when you are not getting your paycheck, when you are at home and not going to work, and you're sitting around and you're stirring and you're wondering what your future is going to be. We can't make everything perfect, but if you call us, we will give you the peace of mind that a roadmap is ahead of you and you're going to be taken care of. And our most important objective is to get you back to work, get you back to a purpose, and return you to the state you were in before this accident. Because, my goodness, nobody expects to get hurt. And everybody that I speak to, unfortunately, is coming to me because something bad has happened. And we don't prepare for that. It's not in our human nature, but it happens. And I want you to know that Quatrini Law Group is there for you when something like that happens. What else do we do? Oh, let me also say that one of the most important assets of our firm is our staff, who has also been with us up to 30 years. They stay with us because they care. And yes, I am the attorney on the case, but you will be dealing with the staff, most importantly, on a more regular basis, and you will love them. One of the best parts of my day is when a case settles or something good happens, and I'm routinely told, please tell your staff how appreciative I am because they listened, they followed up, and they made contact immediately. You will not be sitting around and having to make 3-4 calls in order to talk to somebody. You will get an immediate answer. You will talk to a live person, and you will be get your answers immediately, period. So that's something that we're very proud of. Moving on to some other things that we do at our office that aren't necessarily the common things you see on billboards. And by the way, we don't do billboards, so Google our name. We do veterans disability. So for the men and women who have served our country from Vietnam to the Korean War, all the way to World War II, in fact, my brother Michael had a fascinating case where a gentleman in World War II was torpedoed on a submarine. And when that torpedo hit, obviously he was injured, and Michael was able to get him benefits from that injury that he never knew he was able to get or was entitled to get. So for the men and women that have bravely fought our country and have sacrificed life, limb, and their mental health, it has become very difficult to get veterans service-connected disability. And you need an attorney that is going to fight for you. And it takes a long time, but this is something Michael in our office and Erica in our office have been doing for a very long time. They're very good at it, and they've had incredible results with back pays going up to 10 years. And while that seems like a very long time, the reward at the end of the day of getting 10 years of back due benefits, but more importantly, the acknowledgement from the Veterans Administration that you were injured and that they are now accepting that injury is profound, because a lot of times they want to forget about you and deny your case and hope you go away. So not only are you financially restored, you are also restored emotionally, and you get the justice that you deserve. Next, we do long-term disability. Those are for policies where if you are injured and you have to be out of work, a private or company-sponsored insurance plan will pay you roughly 60% of your salary while you are out. Here's the thing. A lot of times, the insurance company will send a letter that says, oh, by the way, we sent you to one of our doctors and they said, you can go back to work and you need to go back to work and we're going to stop your benefits. And so you think, I don't have any recourse. You do have recourse. You call Quatrini Law Group, you talk to our office, and you can appeal that particular decision that is unfavorable to you, and you can continue your payments, and that might also lead to a settlement in the future. So many times and too often, I've talked to people who come in and they just never appealed that unfavorable decision, that denial, because they thought they couldn't. And I'm here to tell you that you can. And long-term disability is something that not many attorneys do. Our office is the premier office in southwestern Pennsylvania, and I would say even in Pennsylvania, that handles these types of claims. And it's a federal statute that controls short-term and long-term disability, so we can do it all around the country, and we have. We've flown to Vegas to do some hearings, but I just want to reinforce the idea that please call us first to make sure you understand what your rights are, what your options are, and how we can move forward. And that might be understanding that you don't have any recourse. You don't have any other options. And that in and of itself, it gives you peace of mind so that you're not sitting around thinking, I should have done something about that. Maybe I could have done something about that. Maybe my mom was right that I should have pursued that particular claim. Call us so that we can give you that answer so that you can put that behind you and move on. Social Security disability is also one of the other cases that we handle. And you're starting to see a theme here: injury, disability, right? So someone comes into our office that is 63, has been a construction worker their entire life. They've given their body to their company. They have bad shoulders, bad back, bad knees, and they're injured at work after they fall off a ladder. You are entitled to workers' compensation benefits, but also at that point in time, what are you supposed to do when you get your knee fixed, you get your back fixed, and it's anatomically fixed, but you're still in pain, and you have a million other things that are painful on your body? We file you for Social Security disability. That is what you've been paying into out of your FICA tax to the government your entire working career. And we file you for Social Security disability in conjunction with your workers' compensation case to make sure that when your workers' compensation case settles or your checks stop, that you immediately start receiving Social Security disability benefits, because we don't ever want you going without income. We can get you a settlement in PI, in long-term disability, and workers' compensation. But if you don't have reoccurring income, we all know that that money can go very fast. And it is our responsibility as your attorneys, your counselors, to not leave you in that position. And so Social Security disability kicks in and allows you to continue receiving income so you can pay your bills, you can continue on with your life. Here's one important thing that most people have come to understand about Social Security disability. It can take a very long time. If you apply initially, it takes 4 to 6 months to get your initial determination. 90% of those initial determinations are unfavorable. You then have to appeal to go in front of an administrative law judge. That is your best chance at winning your case, but guess what? It is 9 to 10 to 12 months after your initial denial. So it takes a long time. That is why I'm encouraging our listeners to talk to us about it sooner rather than later, because it's not something that you can just jump on quickly. It takes a long time. And so we need to start planning now instead of waiting for running out of money, or when your workers' compensation check stops, or when your income stops altogether. Because what we don't want is for you to start from the beginning and wait another 12 plus months in order to get paid. And here's a little example of what we do as a law firm and how dedicated we are to our clients. Because a lot of times, yes, we understand that we are in a business and we get paid, and making money is the objective at the end of the day. But what sets us apart, I believe, is our passion for justice. When we see someone that has been wronged, we jump in, no matter the circumstances, whether or not we know we're going to get paid. I recently had a case where it was Social Security disability. We appealed it. She was denied. We appealed it to what is the appeals council. That's the level above the judge. We did that over and over again for 5 years. Recently, because the judge overseeing my client's case had denied her so many times, the rules say you have to get a new judge. The new judge awarded her case. She got 5 years of back due benefits, and she will get a Social Security disability check moving forward each month. Now, it could have been very easy to tell that client after the first denial, we're done here. But the decision was so outrageous and so bad that the fire in my belly told me I have to keep going. And we did that for 5 years, and we won. And that is, I believe, what sets us apart in serving our clients in the larger idea of justice. Another example of that is workers' compensation. We had a client come into our office who had representation, and that representation no longer wanted to represent that client because they couldn't get a fee. She had settled the lost wage benefits of her case, and it only had medical open. That's something you can do when you settle your case. You can settle the lost wages, but keep your medical open if you need to continue treating. However, there is no money to be made generally when you leave medical open. That requires our office to pay doctors for deposition fees for their records that can amount to thousands of dollars. She comes into our office, no one will take her case, and we reviewed her case and said, this is clearly, she's been wronged. She has been wronged at the appeal level. We need to take this to Commonwealth Court. Commonwealth Court is just another appeal above what is the Workers' Comp Appeal Board. And we won that case. We won that case because it was so clearly wrong. The decision was wrong. This poor woman had to be pro se. She represented herself because no other attorney would take her case until she got to us. So they took advantage of that. And we said, no, that's not the way this works. That is not how justice is served. So we went to the Commonwealth Court. The Commonwealth Court agreed. That reopened her case. That gave her her medical back. That gave her the ability to treat for her very serious complex regional pain syndrome, which is one of the most debilitating illnesses you can have. And we restored her faith in the justice system, and she is one of the most appreciative persons, including her husband, because when nobody believed in her, we believed in her. And maybe that's to some degree a fault of ours, but I'm here to tell you that it's in our genes, it's in our blood that we do not give up. And that is what you can look forward to working with our office. And if we don't do a particular law or practice area, we will find you the best person, the best attorney, the best law firm that does that exact that piece of legal work with our network that we've been able to build. And we're very proud of that network because we don't send anybody to somebody that we don't trust and that we don't believe does the same level of work that we do. So to wrap up, again, we do long-term disability, we do workers' compensation, Social Security disability, we do all these different practice areas that complement one another. So in other words, we're kind of a one-stop shop. So you can call one office, have them take care of 2, 3 different cases that you might have, and we're able to work together instead of having to reach out to different attorneys or handling different causes of action with that particular accident, and talk to one staff, one attorney, and we work together to make sure we leverage maximum amount of settlement to you for what you deserve.
Great stuff, my friend. You know your stuff. Absolutely. I learned a lot. So
thank you.
That was great, Adam. Awesome. How long you been doing this? Maybe you said
I've been practicing for 10 years now.
10 years. Wow.
I've not been on the radio, but maybe I'm going to
could have fooled me.
Hopefully come back more often. And maybe my dad might tell me I can't because I'll just keep talking.
Well, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds good, my friend. Nice to meet you. Great stuff. And good luck with everything. Enjoy the rest of your summer if I don't see you.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Enjoy. All right, Adam. And you have been listening as we pull this up to the Quatrini Law Group with Adam today. And the Quatrini Law Group has an office on East Main Street here in beautiful Uniontown, and also an office in Somerset as well as Greensburg. Join us for the first and third Monday of each month at 11:30 a.m. for the Quatrini Law Group. Phone 1-888-534-6016. And this is your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS. Nice summer day outside of our Davis studios. 75 at 11:55. And this is WMBS.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like John from Morgantown. John had such extreme numbness and pain that he was having difficulty feeling his car pedals. Then John discovered Tri-State Neuropathy Centers and